You're right. It's angled. It's not angled.
Well, the
It's just
other side of the
flat.
console is angled in too. Headlight
And then
switches
and
and
then
mirrors
like
and
that
stuff.
line on the steering wheel just looks like a weird mouth.
That's the yeah.
Yeah, and like the horn buttons are its eyes.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a sloth
Yeah.
or something.
Well,
Did the sloth.
It looks like that dumb monster from All Real Monsters.
so these
The
fast,
one that's eyes. The ones that's eyes were its hands. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Moving on. 2003 Toyota Celica. This is actually what I was looking at before I found that MR2. Looks like this also sold, but it was $8,300. 34,000 original miles. It's the 6-speed manual 2ZZ. Like, this is as good of a 7G Celica as you will ever find. It's got the TRD, like, action pack body kit or whatever it's called.
oh, so that's like a factory kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all factory.
That's dope.
It's got these, like, weird, like, side skirts with, like, this fin thing on the back. But other than that,
You
it's
know
an
what makes
awesome
me
looking car.
eternally sad?
What?
Celicas are front wheel drive.
Eh. It is sad they stopped making the all-wheel drive ones.
Yeah.
And then also stopped making Celicas in their entirety.
Yeah, that's a nice Celica though. I mean, like you said, it's probably the nicest one you're gonna find.
Yeah. There's no demand for these, as far as I can tell. Like, I don't think they're even allowed to be sold on Bring a Trailer.
This is it. This is what we were talking about last
Now,
week,
if you
and
put
I was
that, if you
saying
put
this
that
is
on
going to be
Bring
a
a Trailer,
scoop.
if you put that, I think Bring a Trailer would take it.
I think they would take this, but two, also, I think this is one of those ones that's like right on the cusp of exploding, right? Like it's right in those early 2000 years where like the
It
Fast
should
and
be.
Furious kids are super into them. And it's definitely one of those ones that I
And all
think,
the rear wheel drive cars are too expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think about what I want to buy my son, and I need to buy it now before they blow up. And Celicas are this generation Celicas is high on the
Yeah.
list.
Man, it would suck if you gave this to a kid as his first car and he just destroyed it. Like, I don't know what your kid's gonna do with it. Maybe your kid will rebel against you and be a racer.
It's like a basic ass Celica cost this generation.
That's
Like
fine.
a
But even if your kid wants to be a ricer, let him be a ricer, and then he can grow out of it and be like, you know what, ricers are that's lame. You
He
know,
can
like
grow up.
Next year's
Like,
kids
yeah.
gonna like come into the house one day and be like, Dad, I was reading on the forums. Do you know about this?
like, dude, that's my thread from 15 years ago that you're reading.
This one's terrible. Anyway, if you want like a basic Celica, I think that the GT came with the 1ZZ engine instead. Oh, for sure.
If it was this generation, I would only get a GTS.
Yeah. That's how I would be also. But if you just wanted something to daily and you need like a commuter car, I could see buying a GT.
No,
Or
I'd get
or
a,
whatever.
if I just wanted a commuter, not carrying, I'd get to be a 96 GT, like that body style.
The 4i ones.
The
Yeah.
Buckeye ones, yeah. Those
I
look
like
really
those.
cool.
They look like that one, like the that monster from Super Metroid.
Yeah.
I think the Buckeyes look cooler than this generation.
Yeah,
I do
too.
That's my favorite, especially the GT4.
Hold on, let me pull some up.
The GT4, the one we never had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
The
would've been
GT4 is the one that has
all-track.
the 3S GTE and the all-wheel drive. Yeah, these
Yeah, like
things.
how sick
Yeah.
does that look?
With the
Yeah, these
rally
are
wheels
awesome.
like that, the salad shooters. Oh,
Yeah, that looks cool as hell. It's got some like curves on it on the side too.
But it's
Yeah.
it's muscular curves.
Mm.
Like it's
A buddy of mine had one of these in high school, and it was not a GT4. They weren't available here, but he had a GT with like the 3S or 5S FE, whatever, like 130 horsepower chunk of crap engine, and it was still really fun for what it was.
and they'll run forever.
Yeah,
Scotty Kilmer
100%.
swears by him.
that's the yeah, Scotty Kilmer's a god. Yeah, like what's being said in the podcast channel right now, there's also a coupe version of this. GT4 I think was only hatch, but let me find a 6G coupe. No, I probably should type Celica also.
yeah, there's a lot of 6Gs.
These are all hatches. Here's one. Here's the coupe. I disagree. I think that the hatch is the way to go.
yeah,
on
I
Yeah,
this
kinda
for
Jeep.
the
hatch is the way to
fastback
go,
kind of
too.
hatch.
I can't even get this picture to load. How about a 1972 Nissan 240SX? It's
Go
a
on.
240Z. It's automatic, but it's a 72 240Z. It's all original. It's $7,500 bucks.
Miles
There's something
ago.
to be, this is like the perfect example of that. There's something to be said about those 70s colors where it's like brown and
Yeah,
pitch
no
yellow. Like you'll never see those colors again.
They kind of brought it back for the 350 with that Brickyard, but that's more purple than brown. I like the brown on 70s Z cars. They
The
look
last
awesome.
brown car seemed
Great.
like a Dodge Charger or something.
You're gonna get
Look at the
your
door
plaid
panel.
bell bottoms and
It's
your
literally
tweed
cracked.
jacket.
It looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
That's so thin though.
Fucking plaster of Paris.
These were really cheap cars. So, door skin might just be a sheet of vinyl. I don't know.
Look, it looks like a motel bed sheet.
Oh Jesus!
These all rusted out to nothing.
I'd love to have one though, but I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. This one's definitely a project.
yeah. And the thing that sucks about them is that they're tough. Like I'm trying to restore my S13, and I'm having trouble finding parts for my car. I can't imagine trying to find parts for this thing.
Right, like how
At
much?
least the Datsuns never went through like a drift phase where everybody just was throwing them into walls.
They
Right, like
went
how
through a
much
disintegration
sacrilege
phase.
Yeah, that's true.
How much sacrilege would it be to just like throw an LS in this? Like
I'd be cool with that. That would be awesome.
I saw the one. It was on like Hoonigan Autofocus right when Larry Chen started that channel. It was that dude with like that super wide bodied LS one that like he just caught up with it. And I was like, you know what? With a wide body, these look kind of sick. But like a proper wide body, no fiberglass stuff.
I think they look
Look at that,
as
look at
sick
that.
as is.
Look at that red S13 for 7.
Yeah, I actually clicked on that one. The last thing I was going to say about these is like, at least with these, you have like entire parts industries built around restoring Datsuns. Like there's
Yeah.
like Z Store or
Right,
whatever, zcar.com or whatever it is.
And I'm
There's
just,
nothing like that for 240s.
yeah, I'm just
for
waiting. I'm just
SRTs.
waiting for that day when someone is gonna come and step up to the plate and do that same thing for S chassis, because they're gonna make a killing, but it's gonna take money.
Yeah. To start like reproducing things.
Yeah.
Start cranking out new dashboards. Bone stock 1991 240SX, title in hand, originally from Texas. It is a Texas title. Oh, so he's skipping because it's in Colorado.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I just don't have time to do it because of COVID-19. The only con is
Same.
it needs a new clutch, but I have it in hand also. Just need to find a mechanic to install it. It starts and runs fine. Great project car. Brand new spark plugs, fuel pump, battery, did a coolant flush and oil change. Car is gutted.
Yeah, just slipping that in right at the end there. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
there's
seriously.
nothing inside.
P.S. It's a piece of
You will need to bring a trailer since the clutch is toast. No BS, cash is king.
Get out of here. Get out. I can't do it because of COVID. What? What does that have anything to do with anything, dude?
You don't want to have your car catch COVID.
Right, man.
COVID's making me real busy.
Yeah, COVID's really taken up all my
Can't
time
go
lately.
into the
so-
garage.
Yeah, that thing's a piece of
Yeah, notice there is no pictures of the interior. That is quote unquote
If you look at the
gutted.
side profile,
It don't
look
exist.
through the back window. Look through the back window.
Yeah,
All
there's
you
nothing
see
in
is-
there.
Yeah,
I
all
feel
you
like this
see is-
kid was about to make it a drift car, and then he just decided, like, I better not.
and
Moving
he
forward,
burnt,
we can't.
he burnt the clutch.
Yes. $7,000 for this thing? I mean, if it really is 50,000 miles, which it isn't, you're going to contact this guy and he's going to inform you that it's actually 150,000 or 250,000.
And he also destroyed it.
Yeah. Nah, this is a piece. Like, this is not a 50,000 mile engine bay. It just isn't.
No.
I can look at this and say, like, first of all, it looks like there's overspray on everything. Like, I don't know if it's dust or what, but there's, like, red shit on everything in here. So is it a respray or... Yeah, this is not worth even pursuing.
The only con is it needs a new clutch. No, there's plenty of cons there, bud.
Let's look at another run-of-the-mill 240. What's going on here?
Well, I like the wing.
Cinder block wing.
Those are like
That's
coming.
some legit downforce.
They're coming back.
The entire front end's cut off. This is a shell.
$2,000.
1986 Toyota Corolla SR5. Here's another one where people are going insane. This is a carbureted car.
Yes.
$8,000.
Kiss my ass.
Carbed. Just confirmed. This is not a 4A GE. This is whatever the 4A FE 7-rib bottom end with a 3AC top end.
Oh, so it's not the 4AG. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Not LSD. Cool.
But just, damn, dude. This is another one that anime
I was gonna say
has launched into the stratosphere.
Somebody watched Initial D.
Yeah, and that's all it is.
I mean,
this is a...
I drive it, you know, if it was my grandma's car and she left it to me, cool, but I'm not going to spend $8,000 to LARP as a tofu delivery driver.
Yeah, like, if my grandma owned it and I could drive it once, that'd be fine. But why would you ever want to own, like, an 80 horsepower carbureted, not Hachiroku? Like, this thing is...
Because you too want to be Takumi.
And here's the thing about it. People, oh, you can swap it. You can swap it. You can put a 4AG. For the amount of money that it would cost you to buy this thing and put everything as GTS spec, you could buy, you'd be in more money. You could buy GTS for less.
You'll be spending $5,000 to drop a 4AG to drop a 130 horsepower engine into this car. You'll be out $5,000. You know, maybe not. Maybe if you know what you're doing. Maybe if you have buddies who can do it for you for free.
Even then, it's still not cheap.
No, it's never like people always say. You know, okay, so the reason that I bought an S13 is because in 2001 there was a sport compact car issue where the cover said, build a $3,000 S13 Sylvia Turbo. And no, you cannot do that.
No.
You'll spend $3,000 on an engine before you get to the car.
And you as a 17-year-old were like, I have $3,000.
And then down the road, I'll do that swap. And that down the road, we never go down that road.
Yeah, that's one of the great follies is thinking, oh, I'll just engine swap it. Like, first off, motherfucker, you don't know how to engine swap a car, so don't talk about it like it's easy, because it's not. And you don't have the money for it anyway, 17-year-old kid. Like, get out of here.
And no 17-year-old kid is buying an $8,000 Corolla SR5 either. But what you're talking about, though, like the thought that you can buy the lower end model and just throw an engine in it. Everybody goes through a phase of that before they understand, like, no, that's not how this is ever going to work. You're going to go buy the car you want.
There's a lot more that goes into it than just than just clicking engine swap in Gran Turismo.
Right. Unless your goal is to spend your entire life in a garage, that's just not the way to go.
And at that point, what's your time worth, dude? You could have bought something better.
Right. Like,
buy it once and buy it right. That's probably the best advice I can give any young car enthusiast is don't settle. Find what you want, and that's what you're going to buy. Don't settle for what's on the market when you have the money, or when you're ready to buy, or when you think, oh, that's really I want this car. Right. Don't settle for what's on the market. Wait and buy the right car, and that's the best thing you can do.
That's really good advice, and what you should do is go on collectorcarfeed.com/forum and subscribe to whatever thread interests you, and wait.
I've heard of this website.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
I mean, yeah, it's a plug, but it's also true. Just go find what you want and just get the listings delivered to you until you see something that's actually worth pursuing. Because if you go on Facebook and just start typing in stuff, all you're going to find is garbage like this.
Right. And it's all going to be local garbage like this. And that's the other thing too, right? It is if you're really serious about buying something that you're going to appreciate for a very long time, distance is no issue.
Yeah, distance. Right. Yeah, distance is not a factor when you're ready.
What, like you don't want to drive the car? You buy it and drive it back.
Right. Well, and that's it too. It's not expensive to ship a vehicle. People always think like, oh, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. Like it would
cost you thousands of dollars.
At the most.
Of dollars.
Right. Right. Like you could find it as low as $500 for some fly-by-night dude with an open car trailer. But like if you want like a legit company, $1,000 to get it across America is no big deal.
If you do
No,
it through like
both-
eBay and shit, they'll like put all that together. It is about $1,000 less that shit.
Both the cars that I imported from Japan, I'm in El Paso. They landed in Galveston, and the customs broker arranged shipping for me. It was like $600 for both each time.
Sick.
You know,
Yeah,
Not to mention
I mean,
Texas
I've
is
had-
enormous.
Right. I've had vehicles moved across the country, and it's at the most I think I've ever paid is $2,000, and that's because we paid 2 drivers to drive over the weekend. But like, if you don't need the car that fast, $1,000 isn't bad.
Yeah, yeah, and $600. What's at? I can't pass that up because
No.
for me to one, take the time off, and 2, spend all the gas driving over there, spend all the gas driving back.
Or a plane ticket.
Yeah, or a
more.
plane ticket. Yeah, plane ticket's going to be $200, $300, and then
Well,
gas,
and-
and then your time.
Right.
You're talking about a negligible amount of savings
Yes,
to not
yeah.
ship it.
Right.
Yeah. How about these? How about Eclipses? I don't think that we've ever talked about these.
Oh, and this is tough too because like I genuinely feel like, and all right, you can yell at me in a minute, but let me finish my sentence. I genuinely feel like Fast and the Furious hyped these cars up to be way better than they actually are.
Oh, I'm gonna yell at you.
Yeah, I mean, what? It's an Evo.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a 4G63. These things kick ass. I mean, it's all-wheel drive. I think.
If anything,
Yeah,
I
this is GSX.
think I think they're way underrated because people look over
I do
them.
too.
They weren't all-wheel drive, were they?
No, just the GSXs
Right.
or the Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Or
there's
the
also
laser-
a front-wheel drive turbo.
the laser-
turbo.
Yeah, GSTs were the front-wheel drive Eclipses.
Yeah. And
But
then
that's
on the
nice.
Talon,
And
it
I
was all
love
TSIs.
those. I love the 1Gs also.
I do too, and this one, okay, so this one's immaculate, and it has 42,000 miles, and it's located in Missouri. That's cool. But this one's 15 grand. Now, this is an outlier. This is
Yeah.
not what these normally cost. A 1G, you can find a 1G GSX for
$5,000.
like under 5 probably.
What
they're
generations
cool.
they are all like rounded one?
That's the 2G. That's
The
this one
2G,
down
that's the
here.
Fast and Furious one.
Yeah.
Right.
I had one
And that's just
childhood friends owned one, and he had the most obnoxious goddamn exhaust on it. That's all I know about these cars.
That sounds about right. You put that like dunk exhaust on there, and
It was so
some sort of
terrible to be
obnoxious blow-off
inside,
valve.
dude.
Oh, look, there you go, right there, $5,000 for a '91 Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive. The first,
Oh, yeah.
the first click.
Yeah, we'll look at that one
The
too.
1G looks better. Just saying.
Yeah, I like I prefer, and the 1G interior I think is prime.
I think the 2G interior is way better.
Let me see that
No,
1G
no,
interior.
look
though.
at the 1G interior. Let's take a vote here.
Oh, yo, that's sick. Let me get that.
Yo.
Yo,
was thinking
look at
that.
them angles.
That's sick.
This shit looks like it's sinking into the ocean. This looks like
It's
the Leaning
listing-
Tower of Pisa or some shit.
It's listing to the right.
Listing lazily to the left. Or right
It
in this
looks
case.
so stupid. Now, okay, I like AW11s, and they have an even worse interior than this, but
I
this
like
is,
that. I think that's
this is
I like
rough.
this is 90s trying to be 80s.
I can't into...
Go
This.
one more. Go one more picture. Let's straight on. Let's look at it straight on.
Is there one?
Uh,
There's no one- there's no
there
straight on
isn't,
picture
there
of it.
isn't.
Yeah, that's
Go to
unfortunate.
that first one you found, though.
It's pretty much the same picture.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Okay,
it's
so it
better.
won't.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
that's
okay.
cool because see what it is. It's trying to be driver oriented.
Yeah, but the 2G is driver oriented.
That's
like
also
it's
very true.
not.
what are you talking about?
It looks like a Corvette. Like it's all angled at you.
Yeah, I guess the center console's kind of angled. You're right. It's angled. It's not angled. It's,
Well, the
it's
other
just
side of the
flat.
console is angled in too. Headlight
and then,
switches and
and then
mirrors
like
and
that
stuff.
line on the steering wheel just looks like a weird mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the horn buttons are its eyes.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a sloth
Yeah.
or something.
Well,
Did this lot.
It looks like that dumb monster from All Real Monsters.
So these
The
fast,
one that's eyes, the ones that's eyes where it's hands. Yes.
Yes, yes.
are these 2G guys fast?
They all have a turbocharged 2-liter 4G63 engine, which is the same engine
Yeah, the
basically
Evo
that's
has.
in the Evos.
Yeah.
Cool.
People crank the boost up on these to like 30 psi. These are all turned into drag cars. Like these are really fast cars. They're also known for blowing up.
Factory's like 200-ish horsepower,
Yeah,
but they'll eat. You turn up the boost and they'll move.
yeah. You feed these like E85, and you could do 300 easily. My buddy had one of these too. He had a Talon TSI front wheel drive that was really fun. It was really obnoxious. He had like a turbo excess blow off valve that would scream at you. But he wasn't really a car guy, and he just kept going to this DSM mechanic, and the guy eventually convinced him to put solid engine mounts in
Oh
it.
no.
And the whole car just vibrated so hard that he wound up selling it within a month after doing that.
Yikes.
But until that, it was a really cool car. They're neat. I think that they are really underappreciated. That $15,000 one being an outlier. Also, okay, this one's $17,000.
Wow. But they're good
Yeah.
looking. But I would prefer a 1G to the 2G.
I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. I think they're both really cool. And I really love, it's like the defining
Yeah.
characteristic besides the wing on
The
them.
bulge.
That hump. Yeah, the bulge
Wow.
on the hood.
Well, and this
Damn
one,
bulge.
for sure is one of those ones that looks terrible as a convertible. Really does.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
absolutely. There's that spider right there on the.
Yeah, but that's a 3G though. That's the full blown hairdresser.
When they
Days
gave
Go
up,
By
yeah, they just
commercial.
that's the one Tyrese drove.
He drove it backwards or
Yes.
something. Or no, fucking Paul Walker drove it backwards.
Yeah,
for
but that's it though.
Instagram.
Like Fast and the Furious kind of gave those a bad rap. I'm not gonna lie. Like, all right, I'll give it to you. It's a sick car. It's basically an Evo, but
To be clear, we're talking about the 2G, and we are not
Yes,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
The
3G.
3G's just no.
Yeah, the 3G fell off a cliff. But yeah, okay, so here's an all-wheel drive for $5,000. It's an auto.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
also it's a
that's-
Talon too, right? Like that's unique in its own.
I wonder if being a Talon makes it worth less.
It does because people
Really?
Yeah, because people if it's just a weird mind thing, just like the Scion FRS. The Scion
True.
FRSs
Yeah.
are less.
For sure. Which sells for more, the GT86 or the BRZ?
The G
Probably the-
Or are they
Whoa.
just the same?
I was looking at them this morning. There's more BRZs, if I recall correctly. That
But
doesn't
also,
answer your question.
I like the BRZ's bumper better. The GT86 bumper, I don't like the way it looks at all.
Yeah, the front bumper, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like hyper aggressive, it looks like a snake or something. And
I'd say they're about even in price, but definitely FRS is less.
Ugh.
Here's another spider.
Legitimately.
The Eclipse spider.
Like, oh,
look how big that back seat is. That's like surprisingly large.
It looks like a little couch.
one more. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's huge. I had a LeBaron
hell?
with a smaller backseat than that
Is
thing.
that a
yeah, but
convertible?
you got
like,
no,
sedan?
leg room there though, right? Like you're all torso if you're sitting
Yeah.
back there.
No, the driver is definitely mashed up on that steering wheel and about to crash if there's 4 people in this car.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, these are not it.
You would
but
just
in the Mitsubishi
just to be
gang-
clear, you would die in an accident in one of those.
It looks quite deadly, yes.
Got a couple VR4
3,000
VR4 Mitsubishi.
Yeah, I
3000
posted one of
GTs
these
here.
in Nice Cars last week, and
Yeah.
this is what I was talking about. I was trying to think about that earlier before we started, and I could not remember which car I said that about. But like, people in the community have known that this has kind of been like a sleeper for a while. Like the 3000 GT twin turbos are sick cars, but I definitely think this is another one that's going to explode when it comes to value.
Isn't it that, like, the understanding is that this is really expensive to work on, what keeps people away?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
That's the general consensus.
Yeah,
But
but
they're
this
sick
would be-
otherwise.
Yeah.
Look at that, like, like, you look at that first engine out picture. It
Yeah,
just,
the guy
it just
dropped-
looks complicated.
He just dropped the entire subframe out of the car. Like, that looks complicated, but that's probably the best way to do it. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have a 2-post lift. And that's
Yep.
part of the problem. Like, and that guy does. That guy's clearly got a 2-post in his garage where he dropped the entire subframe, cradle and all. Like, okay, we're going to work on this engine. We're gonna push the shell aside and go from there.
Like,
But I think they're gorgeous cars.
yeah.
No, they are.
I do too, yeah.
This is like a
But not the.
oh,
Oh my
wow.
god, not this one.
That thing looks
Nice.
like it looked like when you wreck in fucking Forza.
you crashed the front of it and the rear end for some reason is crumbled in.
What a
Nice.
piece of shit. Anyway, how about this one? This is a spider.
Oh yeah, those are
What?
nasty.
They're weird.
They're
man.
rare as
That-
hell.
This is like the.
That proportion is
This might be one of the
weird.
first hardtop convertibles, right?
Hey.
No,
Like, what
those
other-
hardtop-
No, they
those
go way
hardtop
back.
convertibles in the 50s.
Yeah,
Oh, get out of here. Okay.
truth.
But what mass production hardtop convertibles were there in the 50s besides the Lincoln Continental where the entire the entire roof folds into the trunk?
Do you really want me to make you look like a fool in front of 30 listeners?
Yeah, I do. Find it. What else is there?
Oh
Didn't the-
god.
Didn't one of the Bel Airs do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. Look, Google.
That's why the car was 1.5 miles long and needed all that room to store the roof in it.
It didn't even have a fucking trunk.
Yeah, this is how the Lincoln Continental is, like the one JFK got shot in, or the one from The Matrix.
I'm gonna need about 30 minutes to get going every morning.
Yeah.
I've seen the inside of this before, like the actual trunk part, not in person, like a video. It was like a Gordian knot of gears and shit. It looks like a complete nightmare to service.
Yeah, like you
For
forget,
sure.
like the servo hasn't been around that long.
Okay, fine, it exists, but like
Shut down.
it existed in the yeah, I was shut down, but it existed in the 50s.
And then
But
they
then
didn't,
where was it
right,
in
they
the 60s and the
didn't do
70s
it.
and the 80s? They stopped doing it forever. And then, as far as I know, of modern cars, this is the first one where they had a folding retractable hardtop that I can think
I mean,
of.
Porsche did
I
it.
can't think of anything else from the 80s or 90s
Like,
that
I
did
feel
this.
like you're wrong, but I have no evidence.
The Eclipse did it.
The Eclipse didn't
Yeah,
do
the
it.
Eclipse had a retractable hardtop.
The one that we just looked at, that 2G,
2G.
that's a canvas top.
Hey, you want me to make you look like a fool again in front of 30
You want me to
people?
make you look like a fool in front of 30 people? The 2G Eclipse Spider has a canvas top.
2G Eclipse retractable
All right.
Hit him with those facts.
hardtop.
Everybody just be quiet while he finds out he's wrong.
I just Googled it too, and I don't see a damn thing.
You're thinking of this car.
I don't think I am, dude. And it looked very weird.
All right, there's too much silence in this podcast.
No, well, I'm looking.
I don't
looking.
I'll cut
I
this
don't have
out.
a fresh beer to crack to like break the silence.
How do you guys feel about Porsche 944s?
I like him. That's going to do it for this episode of Collector Car Feed Podcast. Thanks to our sponsors, H Genuine. That's h-genuine.com. Use offer code FEED at checkout for a special offer. And Outworld Systems for all your refurbished electronic needs. Outworldsystems.com. Links are in the description. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.